Hello everybody, welcome back to Tech and Persevere. Not really sure what I'm going to title this video, and I might break it into several different pieces instead of just rambling on one long piece, but essentially I'm going to be talking about what I've been kind of carrying and shooting over the last almost 2 years now, and that is the Warpoet MR920. And just to make sure none of y'all freak out, this is cleared. Yeah, it's a Warpoet edition of the Shadow Systems MR920. Essentially a kind of, for lack of a better term, Gucci'd out Glock 19 clone. So like I said, I've been carrying this since January-ish of 2022. It's been crazy, time flies. But yeah, and there's already been a bunch of reviews on this gun, and I don't want to necessarily turn this into a review per se, and I've been waiting this long, and if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen I've kind of how this gun has progressed over the years, and kind of just, yeah, I've kind of just shown it in different configurations and stuff, but I didn't want to talk about it or anything just because, you know, I want to make sure I've shot it or carried it enough, and just, yeah, just I've had more time with it. But I'm going to talk about essentially what I had envisioned for this gun, how that ended up working out, how it is now, and then what my plans are. But yeah, let's kind of just get a deeper look at this. So going into this, like I said, this is not a review of the Warpoet MR920. There's plenty of videos out there on it. But yeah, so this is more about just my use case. So essentially I wanted a Glock 19-esque gun that just came with a red dot. And I saw a bunch of this around when this gun was coming out, the Warpoet edition. I thought it looked cool, came with a red dot out of the box, and was honestly, for the price, if you were to do all the individual little things by yourself, which would take time, money, effort, all those other things, and mainly just time and the money cost, because I actually added all this up and it ended up being the same price, if not less, including the red dot. But the main reason I wanted a gun that I could start carrying it out of the box and, you know, not have to send it off to get milled and wait for it to come back, and the whole time not actually being able to carry it. So yeah, this is what I went with. But basically my thought process on this gun was going from a SIG 365. I wanted something that was just more capable, and kind of, my thought process and plan was I wanted kind of a dual purpose or all-purpose handgun. So I guess that's kind of what I'm going to title this. Essentially, I wanted a gun that I can conceal carry every day, but also if something really bad happened and I need to use this in a more overt setting, it would also be decent at that setting. So something that could flex between whatever use case I needed it to be used for. So there's kind of two thought processes around carry guns that I've always heard. The first one is carry whatever you can carry comfortably every day, and then the second one is carry the biggest, most capable gun you can carry reasonably. So while that sounds very similar, it's very two different frames of mind. First being, you know, I can carry a subcompact like Glock 48 or your SIG 365, your Shield Pluses, all great guns, and very easy to conceal and very comfortable conceal, versus this gun, I definitely know I'm always carrying it. But there's also the thought process of, you know, if something bad's going to happen 90% of the time, it's not going to be in some, you know, like Fallout fantasy world. It's going to be, you know, you're just going to the grocery store or something. It's going to be everyday life, and it's going to be whatever you're carrying that you have to rely on. So this is somewhere in the middle. So like I said, a subcompact gun is gonna be a lot more easy to conceal and more comfortable to carry. Especially, I've been carrying this. This last summer was honestly pretty brutal in this configuration, just because it's definitely a lot heavier than my SIG 365 that you've seen me use in other videos and on my channel. It's heavier, it's longer, it takes up, even the holster's big. It's just, you definitely know it's there. Now in the winter months it's not that bad, but like I said, in the summer it's pretty hard, and it is also harder to conceal. So, you know, if you're down here in the South, you know, a lot of times wearing t-shirts and stuff. Now I've found ways to conceal this in hotter weather, but that's definitely something you can think about. Now on the other side of the spectrum is, you know, a Glock 17 or a Glock 34, your SIG P320s, you know, are good. I'd rather not shoot myself on accident, but that's just me. But yeah, a full-size gun is definitely a more capable option. Now, I would still argue this configuration is definitely on the bleeding edge, similar to like kind of the Roland Special, where it is definitely still a concealable gun, but it's also very capable. So somewhere in kind of the middle of those two thought processes. And also, like I said, a dual purpose gun that, you know, I'm not, basically just one gun, kind of like a GPR rifle, is kind of like, if you could only have one handgun, what would you take? You know, if you don't have the luxury to afford, you know, multiple handguns, this would be this is what I at least envisioned being my all-purpose handgun. So going into this setup, it's kind of changed slightly over the years. The red dot hasn't changed. I'm considering putting a closed emitter on there. However, all the ones I've seen have problems except for a handful. I'm leaning towards the EPS, just the standard one. But honestly, it'd be less for kind of tactical reasons. It'd be mainly just a piece of life, just peace of mind, you know, because I always get lint and crap in here, or if I'm wearing this outside the waistband and I'm like doing farm work and crap, I always get freaking dust in here, which I've never had it cause a problem. It's more of just, it's annoying. And, you know, I have an outside the waistband holster that also covers that, or even like in a double mag flap pouch, you can cover that, but still it'd be something I'd be interested in. Originally, I was carrying just a TLR7 light, which I still think is the king of compact carry guns. Like if you were just concealed carrying this, the TLR7 is definitely a pretty good all-around light. It's shorter, it's lighter, and yeah, because this TLR1 weighs double the weight of a TLR7 and a 6-out more. But yeah, I'm just now using this light in this configuration. Well, I've just now started playing around with this light. And then I ran into the Compensator, which when I bought this gun, it came with a threaded barrel, but that's just because that was the only option they had. And I was like, okay, it looks cool, sure, whatever. But then Shadow Systems dropped their own Compensator, which is kind of sits flush against the slide, which it looks cool, but also it wasn't too expensive. And it's honestly, the other thing was it was super reliable considering it's only a single port. I've shot this thing with just, you know, standard ball ammo, but also like what am I trying to say, carry ammo, like 124, 147 grain, and plus P ammo, and it's cycled everything just because, like I said, it's a single port, and it's only minimally giving you an added compensating effect in the vertical kind of axis, which is definitely noticeable, but you know, if your fundamentals are crap, it won't really do anything. So like if I handed this to a new shooter, it's not going to be groundbreaking. It just helps you, at least what I've noticed is for faster kind of build drills and just trying to shoot very quickly, it helps kind of tame that vertical axis if you're already shooting, you know, with good fundamentals and grip and all that. But this is the setup that I'd kind of just call it the max configuration. I could put an X300 on there, but this is just kind of, it sits flush. It definitely looks pretty cool how it can just stand on its own like that. But yeah, it just sits flush, the compensator and the light. Apparently the TR1 actually weighs like 0.3 ounces, 0.3 ounces more than the X300. But yeah, this is definitely this is the most I've had on this gun. And the only negative thing about this current setup is just that while this light does give me a lot more lumens from the TR7, and the compensator does help it shoot a little bit flatter when I'm shooting faster, at least. It's just, to me, while it's nice on the flat range, it's a little bit heavier to conceal carry. and also just it feels a lot more front heavy. But I mean, it's kind of a personal preference thing. I just felt like going from this, and I was running just the standard no compensator and a TLR7. It just felt more balanced, if that makes any sense. But yeah, this is just my kind of dual purpose handgun. It's essentially just a Glock 19 with a white light and a compensator. I might go back to just no compensator and TLR7. But going into the next video, I'll talk about holster selection. I'll kind of talk about how your gun itself affects how you carry it. But yeah, keep an eye out for that video.